Oh!
But it will be easy, don't worry.
Oh.
Dressage, talent or money?
It's very good at a young age to see other stables.
Maybe there is not only dressage in the world.
You try to develop every day.
This. Honestly.
Thank
you.
you.
Like, and there's always someone who, you know...
It's almost every day that something comes up. Like,
When things were not that perfect.
yes, of course. And I want to be open about it and be a positive example. And this is all I can do. And for the rest, I have to live with that.
Hello guys, and today we are at the stables of one pretty famous Dutch dressage riders. I'm sure you've seen her this summer in Tokyo and in actually many other big show venues. It is Marlies Van Baalen.
Marlies Van Baalen, born August 30th, 1980. Daughter of Kobe Van Baalen, Dutch International Grand Prix rider. Dutch indoor champion in 2014 and 2016. Participated in 2 World Cup finals. 2 times Olympic contestant. Co-founder of DVB Foundation.
Today we are at her and her family's farm, Dressage Van Baalen, where she trains with her mother also, Kobe Van Baalen. And yeah, today we hope that she will share with us some interesting stories about her life and show us around her stable. Hi everyone, today we are with Marlies Van Baalen. She is a Dutch dressage Olympic rider. We're at her stables in Holland and we're hoping that she will share some insights to her life with us today. Hi Marlies.
Hi, thank you.
How are you today?
Very fine.
Thank you very much for hosting us. It's a big pleasure, and we'd like to ask you about overall how, to come from the beginning, how did you start your riding career when you were small, what kind of age, and just how did it develop, and when did you understood that dressage is your thing for life?
Yeah, you can see that I'm living here at a beautiful yard, dressage stable Van Baalen. It was built now 8 years ago, new,
Okay.
so it's completely up to our wishes. But before that, how it all started, you asked me. When I grew up, we had already horses here. My mother already was a professional rider. She started as an amateur rider, but she became later a professional. My father had some dairy cows in that time, so it was a really farm.
All here?
All here, yeah, so dairy cows and horses, and also already some breeding. So when I was born, I immediately had the connection with horses because I saw them every day. And I was immediately a big fan of it. And I got my first pony when I was 4 years old, a very nice pony. But I have to say in the beginning, the pony was a bit quick for me. So I was a bit afraid. And then my parents thought, well, it's maybe not good to continue at this moment. So I just went to the riding school in the village for a year. And every week I went there and had a riding lesson. And then my trust came back. And then I was able to ride my own pony again. And that's how it all started. And I also had the opportunity with nice ponies always and nice horses, of course, because my parents were able to find me those ones, which didn't mean that I didn't have also difficult times or competitions which weren't good. But overall, we all worked very hard to have nice successes, which I already had at a young age. And this is how it started.
Okay, and around what age you had your first let's say, professional competition on a maybe national or international level?
Very young, because I was very young when I started competing. I think like 6-year-old.
With a pony?
With a pony. And then at 12-year-old, I did my first European Championships with the ponies.
Wow.
And from that year, every year, like ponies, juniors, young riders.
Yeah.
And then Grand Prix.
Okay. And did you ever have maybe a thought or a doubt in your mind, maybe I want to do something else, maybe there is not only dressage in the world?
Yes, of course, because when you're young, you can't have a look in the future. And for me, it was, of course, a privilege that I had already this beautiful stable, that it was here. But on the other hand, I was thinking, is this my whole life? Is this really what I want? And this is quite a hard decision when you're young. And when I was in school, I also loved to do languages. For example, French, I found a very nice language, and I thought maybe I want to study that as well. I didn't know exactly how to combine. But then, meanwhile, I was also a lot in Germany, where my mother was also training at that moment, stable of Johan Hinneman.
Johan Hinneman, one of the best dressage trainers in the world, coached German and Dutch national teams and Canadian Olympic team. In 1996, was awarded a rare title of a master rider.
And the suggestion came to do the Warendorf school, which is a very well-known school in Germany. And so then I went to the stable of Johan Hinneman and also to the school, so I combined that. And I went there for 4 years, so this was quite a long time. And in that time, I realized I really want to do the horses. This is my life. And then, it was very clear that when I came back to my home, that I wanted to continue to work here. But I think this time was very important because, it was not automatically set that I was here in the company, but later I really made the decision myself. And also, I think it's very good at a young age to see other stables and other countries. I learned a lot in that time.
Okay, so that was one of our questions about Johan Hinneman. What sort of age you were there?
I just finished high school when I went there, so I was 18, I think.
You went with your horse, some of your horses?
Yeah, and also I had some stallions from the Westphalian stud at the moment, where Johan Hinneman had a cooperation with that stud. So I rode some of them. And I also had opportunity to ride on Eidekes, which was a KWPN approved stallion, who was already competing at Grand Prix level in America. But he came back to Holland because he had to breed here. And then his owner asked if I wanted to ride him, which was, of course, a great opportunity. And from that start, I went to my first Olympics in 2004, so that was really nice time.
Great. And what could you say was the biggest lesson that you learned there in Germany with John?
Oh, so many, but what was very important for me, what I learned at Johan Hinneman's stable and also with the study in Warendorf, were the basics and also the theory behind the riding. Of course, you can't learn to ride out of a book, but it really helps if you know a little bit more about the horse, the whole management, but also the riding, how an exercise should really look like, what is correct, what is not correct. And this helps me still every day. It's almost every day that something comes up like, oh, you have a solid foundation. And this is, I think, the most important thing I learned there. Of course, all other things like going on competitions, riding stallions, yeah, a lot of things, but this is the most important.
Okay, and would you say that, in your opinion, every rider should have some theoretical background apart from just riding?
I think it's very important, very important, because the horses can't talk, so it is already difficult. And by knowing them better, their body language and what they try to tell you, it's of course your natural feeling, but I think you can also learn a lot about it by books or by clips or by videos or whatever. So yeah, I think it's very important.
Okay. And also, is there someone who you really admire in nowadays dressage world, who you think, this is my role model and I want to learn from this person, you know, and be a little bit, you know, like this person, like this rider?
Of course, when I look at the top 5 of the world, top 10 of the world, I really love to see them ride and see them train. We're on the same competitions. Of course, for me now, it's not like I'm having a role model, like I want to be somewhere one, because I think it's very important to be yourself. But of course, I try to develop every day. And I think you should, because you're never finished to learn how to ride. And also, I'm teaching a lot, and I want to develop that as well. And it helps really to be in the top sport, to define your skills almost every day and get better in riding, and therefore get better in teaching. And see the other top riders compete, but also train at competitions, is super inspiring. Yeah.
Okay. And we had a little tour around the stable, and it's, you know, it looks so wonderful, and we were amazed comparing to other places how clean it is. Honestly.
Thank you.
Know, like, and there's always someone who, you know, cleaning and doing something like this. So it looks like, you know, it's just a perfect place, and that you built it the way where, you know, it's everything step by step and very, let's say, rational. But was there ever a period where you had not a mess in the stable, but a mess kind of in your head, when you had a difficult period and you didn't know how to cope with that, you know, and when things were not that perfect?
Yes, of course. I think everybody has that or will still have it, because not one career is like here and going only up.
Okay.
And of course I had very difficult times. For example, when I rode a stallion in the Grand Prix, and he had very much stallion behavior, and I didn't know how to deal with that and how to be the boss, especially in the competition. And he was also very clever. And then to find that out, and you got insecure by that time. And this is only one period I had, or a period where you had a bad competition and you see very negative comments in the social media, which is also, of course, nowadays for everybody. Sometimes it goes good, sometimes you have a bad ride. It's normal, but everybody has an opinion about that. So those are only 2 small examples, and of course I had those periods, but for me it's always the nicest thing of our job is to develop and educate our young horses from the bottom till Grand Prix or Prix St. George, or which level they can do. And this is always and every day gives us joy. So even when you have bad time in the sports career, this always gives more joy. And then times will be better and will become better time.
And you mentioned social media and everything. So did you manage to cope with those negative comments sometimes, or?
Yeah, of course, you get stronger, and I think for everybody who's in sport, but yeah, it's in the world, of course, nowadays that when you achieve something, somebody is very positive about it, and somebody can be also very negative about it. What I try to do myself is not to be negative on social media at all, because it's no use. When you have something to say, you can say it face to face, not on social media. And I want to be open about it and be a positive example. And this is all I can do. And for the rest, I have to live with that.
Okay. And of course, I think it's very interesting for also our followers to hear about your family in terms of that your mother was already an achieved, accomplished rider when you started riding.
Coby Van Baalen, born April 6, 1957. Dutch International Grand Prix rider. The general manager of dressage stable Van Baalen. Silver team medal at the 2000 Olympics. 9 medals at the Dutch Championships. Dutch trainer and coach. Founder of DVB Foundation.
And how did that go? Having a successful parents, have you ever been, compared or felt pressure to be, to become as good as her?
I think, it brought a lot of positive things. Like I said, for example, that my parents could always give the right ponies or horses afterwards. Not always the best quality maybe, but always the best ones for me in that period, and where we also with a lot of training could make a very good horse. And she could always help me with the training, but I didn't always train with her only. I always had, of course, my training at home, but always a different trainer besides. For example, the team trainer that time, later of course Jan Hinneman, later team trainer of Holland, so always somebody else as well. They gave me a very good base, but also with the help of other trainers, to become who I am now.
Okay, and in terms of horses, so you mentioned Idukos. Is there any other horse that really, you would say that this horse made me who I am, the rider that I am now?
It's not only one, because there are so many, and I have had so many Grand Prix horses, like I think 15 or something. But I think now the last years with Go Legend, because of all the other horses, I think I'm very aware of his quality, which is very good, of course, and also because he has this very nice Piaffe Passage. And before him, I also had horses who had very much difficulties with that. And then it's very hard to ride a nice Grand Prix, very light, when this is a difficult point for the horse. Yeah. And with him, I think I'm very happy and very lucky. And because I did my second Olympics now with him, I think he is now the most special one. Yeah.
Wow, that's very exciting. And you bred him yourself, right, in the family?
Yes, exactly. It's a family horse. My parents-in-law actually bred him. So that's super nice, because we still have the pictures where he's in the field in front of the house and with my sisters-in-law. And as a 3-year-old, he came to our stables. So it's very nice when you know the whole history of the horse.
Okay, and so we know that you do a lot of breeding, and we want to talk a bit about that. How many broodmares you have that that are pregnant every year?
Yeah, we have the mares we have also in the sport. So sometimes we breed with them when they're very young. They breed themselves, or otherwise with the embryo transfer. And we have, I think, between 4 and 6 each year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of offsprings of your horses that are bred by you from Tatilas. You enjoy his bloodline?
Yes, we do, especially since we have Go Legend and we see how his character is, which is very important for dressage horse, that they really want to do it. But also the talent for Piaffe Passage is a reason that we have more offspring now of Totilas, but also of other Grand Prix stallions. We prefer that, our goal is to breed Grand Prix horses. So we try to breed with stallions who are Grand Prix or who show already that they have talent for that.
What are your favorites apart from Totilas?
Stallions, you mean? Oh, we have a lot. Also, of course, Toto, but also Dream Boy. But we have, my mare is from Dempsey, is also Grand Prix stallion. So we have so many.
You don't focus only on KWPN?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, that's very interesting. And are there anything specific that when you think about, okay, this mare with this stallion, are there any tricks or tips that you when you choose?
Yeah, of course. What we try to do is that when we have a mare with a walk which is not that good, we try to have a stallion with a very good walk. Try to, but yeah, especially when the quality of the mares gets better, I think the quality of the offspring gets better as well. But of course, it's always not. It's still a little bit of a game, which is nice. And I think for us, it's the best chance to have our own horses in the end, because of course when we buy them later, it's quite expensive, and it's still expensive when you breed, but bigger chances.
Yeah. Okay. And could you please tell us a little bit about the DVB Foundation?
Yes. My mother started with that a long time ago, when she was at a riding school for disabled people, and she was very impressed. The joy for the riders, which was so big, and also the volunteers, very young people who all helped in that riding school. So then the idea came up to help those riding schools, because of course they need sometimes some things, equipment, money. And what the DVB Foundation does nowadays is that we try to collect money, and there are a lot of requests out of the whole country, not only from riding schools but also from riders themselves who need some special equipment, and this is we try to help them with that.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's very noble.
Yeah, I think it's good to. We are very privileged to have our own yard here and to be fit and healthy. And there are a lot of people who are not that lucky in life. And I think it's good to do something back.
Okay. And we saw here you have a conference room. Do you do some kind of education seminars, or what do you use it for?
Yeah, we have all kind of education programs. We have some clinics, and then we do the practical part in the arena with the horses. But the theory we can do in that room. But also sometimes company will rent the room and they will have their own meetings here. So it's used in very different ways.
Sometimes you have massage there.
Massage there. Or every week we have our sport, and when it's a rainy day, we go also inside.
Okay.
So
Okay. And so you mainly manage the stable, or together with the mother?
yeah,
With
it's a
Kobe.
real family company, and we do it really together, and also together with our team. We find it very important that we do it together. It's not like one person is the only one responsible. We try to be responsible with all of us, and that works very well.
Is it sometimes tricky to have family members work together?
Of course, it's sometimes it can be difficult, but because we're family and we're the owner together,
Yeah.
we always want the best for the company. So there's always the main goal, and we also want the best in sport. So yeah, we always there are no big issues because we have the same goals,
Okay.
and the same joy and love for horses. So.
Amazing. And as per you, would you say what's your focus now? Your career or sales or teaching? Where do you put most of your time?
The most of the time and the focus is on the sport. So every morning the training is about our own horses, and nothing will come between that. That's most important. And to have a clear competition schedule, where to go, what to do. But besides that, I teach also every day in the afternoon, and I like that a lot. We have a lot of young people who try to get as good as possible. We would like to help them with that. And of course, we have also sales. Yeah, it's not like we have a sale company, but of course, we always have horses for sale from our clients or from ourselves, also youngsters, older horses. So our company is a real mix of different things: breeding, sales, sports.
Okay. And as an athlete, do you also support yourself with other physical activity and fitness apart from riding?
Yes, absolutely. I do every morning half an hour yoga program just to have a warming up and to be supple. And besides from that, 2 times a week I have my personal coach who comes here, and we have our own program. And in the weekend I always run for the condition, and it helps you to feel better, and also to be stronger. And also when you do competitions, that's very important.
Okay, wow. Okay, and about your achievements and overall, you did Olympics 3 times, right?
2 times, yeah.
2 times,
Yeah.
sorry. How would you compare yourself? How, you as a rider at that point and at the Olympics of 2020, how different was it, the experience?
Very different, because in the first Olympics, that was also my first Grand Prix horse. And the last Olympics, it was the 15th or 16th.
Yeah.
So in between that, there is so many horses, so many experiences, that I think I'm another rider. And it's also nice that the Go Legend was trained by myself till the Grand Prix level. And yeah, I think that's also a part of the success, because then it's good that you know every little thing of the horse.
Yeah, of course. At some point of your life you had spine trauma. How did you cope with that? How did you recover?
Yeah, it's true. I fell from a young horse, and it was very painful, I have to say. I didn't have to get operated, so that was good. But still, it took me, I think, 3 months. And they told me that I had to rest a lot, but also I could walk, because walking was good to recover. So in the beginning it was very painful, but I really did everything I could to become better. and lots of physio afterwards. It was not always easy, but it was very nice to see that my horses could be trained, of course, by my mother and the team, so that they were still going and keep their condition, so that afterwards, yeah, I could really quickly go back in the saddle and go on without too much pain. So I was very, very lucky that it recovered.
Okay. Such a privilege to have someone of always your team to help you and
absolutely
support. And as per your dressage training, what are some main methods, or not methods, but things that you always keep in your head and you think this is how it should be, or this is something that I will never do on the horse?
Yes, of course. This is also a little bit what I told you about this basic system I learned in Germany at a young age, which you always have a little bit in mind. And of course, but it also has to do a little bit with feeling, I think, on the horse. Like, you want to have a certain feeling in how the horses react, how loose they are, how forward they want to go on the leg. And this is where you work on every day. And it also, when you have better horses during your career, your feeling also develops, and so you continue yourself to be a better rider every time. So I think this also helps a lot.
Okay, and can you share with us some tips? How would you cope with the horses with difficult character, stallions, for example?
Yeah, of course. It's very important that you stay very consequent. Especially also with the young ones and the stallions. That what you do today is what you do tomorrow as well. Not one day they can go a little bit forward when you go on, and next day they have to stand still. That you're very clear what you want. Not to be that you don't have fear, that you feel that you can do it. Those, I think, are the main, and of course to have a good management.
Yeah.
That you already go with your horses to other arenas at a young age, to launch them a little bit before. Yeah, those are only small examples, but those can help a lot in the education.
Do you ride the youngsters yourself, break them in, or?
No, I don't do that, but we do it here, so that we can see it. We launch them here, then we break them, and we have members of our team who will do the first years of education with our help. And most of the time when they're around 5, I ride them as well.
Okay. And what do you overall think about the dressage nowadays?
I think it's the level is amazingly high. The scores from nowadays are so much higher than a few years ago. So it's every time it develops, and the horses gets better, and also the riders gets better. And that's very inspiring. And it's always it also inspires us to breed better horses, to train better, to become better. So the whole level is going up.
Do you think that it's always fair, the high scores that some horses get?
Of course, it's a judge sport, and sometimes you think, oh, well, that's quite a high score for that test, and sometimes you think, oh, that's a little bit low score for that test, but then maybe on the next competition it's the other way around. And our experience is that when you have the average from half a year or a year, it's always good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're at the stables of Marlies, and she will show us around a little bit.
Yes. So here we have the first stable. We have like 4 areas of stables which we can all close. And 8 years ago we had the wish to build a new stable with lots of light, and you can see the roof can go open, so it's always fresh over here. And every horse has a window, which are always open only when it's very bad weather, or when they're wet after the training, or this one, for example, which is a foal. So this one is closed at the moment. You can see sleeping her. This is a filly from Las Vegas.
Okay, Desperados.
Yeah, and then Desperados. So she was a mare who was in the sports before here, and we also bred the mare ourselves. It's a bit quiet now because it's lunchtime, so all horses have worked already in the morning, and in the afternoon our lessons will start. So this is the indoor arena.
It's 20 by
60, yeah,
60.
exactly how it should be in the competition. It's always good also when we practice our tests or freestyle that the size is really good, because otherwise, you get problems with that.
The outside arena is a bit smaller.
No, it's also the same size.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
These are all yours and your mom's, trophies?
Yeah.
Amazing.
So this is the private stable. Here we have all our tech. All the horses have their own paché saddle and their own bridle, which is of course very important that everything fits well and it's good on the backs, good in the mouth. Yeah, and these are all young horses who were born here, bred here, and now we
3-4-year-old,
3-4-year-old, but also older ones, like this one, the Toto is 5-year-old, and this is my not old, but former Grand Prix horse, Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
And he did a great job, and I won very much with him. And now one of our employees, Kira Jardin, is riding him and competing him at a lower level. So that's also super nice. This is a 7-8-year-old mare with lots of talent for Grand Prix. So it's all, they all have their own story. Also Grand Prix horse Habibi, John Shuffro Johnson, competed with Mara de Vries, also one of the riders of our team. And here we have
the big guys.
The big guys, Jackie Kennedy, my mare, and Go Legend. He always likes to have a look here outside. Hi. Hello.
Oh.
He's always looking out of the window. And
he's sweet?
Yeah, he's very sweet. And when we have the window closed because of bad weather or wind, he's very grumpy.
Yeah,
he always likes to see
he likes me.
Who's coming, what's happening, very curious.
And Jackie Kennedy, you would say it's your second prospect after a Go Legend?
Yes, exactly. At the moment, yes, she's 8-year-old, and she's developing also in a very nice way. Come on. Hello. Hi.
Would you prefer to work more with mares or geldings or stallions?
I think geldings are the most easy, but I have to say now also with this mare, when they know what they have to do, they really want to go for you. So I also like to work with the mares as well.
Okay. Okay, and now we'll have a little blitz. I'll ask you a few questions and please answer without thinking too much.
Oh!
But it will be easy, don't worry. So, most wonderful horse you ever worked with?
Go Legend.
That was easy.
Yeah, okay.
Dressage, talent or money?
Talent.
Are you afraid to fall from a horse?
No.
If not dressage, then what?
Running.
Okay, the time it took to answer tells us that it's actually only dressage. Yeah. Thank you very much, Marlies. And now we're excited to see a little bit of your stable.
Thank you.
Oh, that was nice. Thank you. And now, Marlies, could you please sign this True Horses Cup for us, and we will send it to one of our followers.
Of course. Oh, if he's
He
not
will
done
also.
yet.
Yeah, boo boo. Thank you
There it
so
is.
much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Marlies, and good luck to you and all your horses.
Thank you. Same to
Thank you. Guys, as you already know, we give away our True Horses Cup signed by people that we interview, and how we've done with Dominique Filion. A cup signed by her went to one of you. The same we're going to do with this cup signed by Marlies Van Baalen. Please leave a comment to this video, and we're going to send this beautiful thermos cup to one of you.